What's up, everyone? This is Silver Slayer, and welcome to your daily silver stacking video. Thank you for tuning in. I have a question, ladies and gentlemen. Why do you think people lie about silver? Why do you think they fear silver? I'm not talking about you and I'm talking about bankers, people that are going to push stocks, maybe even financial advisors. Why do you think that they always try to downplay silver? Well, I'll tell you why, but I really want you to answer this first. See, this could go back as early as the Hunt brothers, actually as early as 1930, when FDR changed the gold to silver ratio from 16 to 1 to 75 to 1, single handedly devaluing silver. All the way to 1971 when we got rid of the gold to silver standard, all the way to 1980 when the Hunt brothers cornered the market and the government deemed them as these highly criminal, this highly criminal organization that tried to do something. All they were doing is trying to hedge against inflation, as they knew where the dollar was headed. But it can go even further on. Why do you think this is? See, silver is the direct opposite of the dollar. Even a negative correlation. When the dollar index goes up, gold and silver's down, and vice versa. Do you think that anything pegged to the dollar would benefit from gold and silver rising? No. So if people have the agenda of trying to keep you in the system or keep the control or the power away from your own hands and into theirs, then silver would be the last option. They wouldn't want that. When you invest in precious metals, you take the power, the control away from yourself, and or vice versa. I guess when you invest in the precious metals, you take the power away from them and put it into your own hands. And when you're investing in stocks or anything that is pegged to a centralized bank, they're in control. When you put your money in a bank account, your money is up in the air to the hands of interest rates and inflation. And do you think that as the dollar keeps losing its purchasing power, that's going to help you or benefit? No. That's why people transfer their wealth or IRAs or anything into precious metals as a hedge against inflation. That's why it's called a safe haven investment. But they don't want you to know that. The Hunt brothers were deemed evil. What if that story broke out why they were buying silver? Nobody asked why, but that story was so popular that the government had to make their own agenda, their own situation out of it, so people didn't know the truth of why they really were buying silver. Because imagine if the truth came out. They were buying silver because the dollar is collapsing and they wanted to protect their wealth. The government would never want that real story to get out, so they made these guys seem very evil, when that's not really the case. So, nowadays, you can see the same type of situation. You see how many times I've covered articles on this channel in particular, where it's a stock channel or something along the lines pushing the agenda of maybe ETFs, the COMEX, and they just bash silver using very misleading words or different wordplay or twisting the narrative to make it seem like or leaving out context of silver's true potential, only looking at silver from a negative point of view, saying that the average price has been $15 for the last 10 years, and it's a very slow market, and it's really risky, which I have no idea how you can call a safe haven asset a risky investment. That's very contradicting, but they're going to deem it that way. They're not talking about why it's called a safe haven. They're not going to talk about silver being the number one performing asset in 2020. They're not going to talk about silver's potential in 5G and electric vehicles and solar panels and the silver shortage and any of that. They're not going to talk about that. They're not going to talk about the reality of the dollar, because then that would give away why you need silver. They're going to talk about all just the negative things. And it's blatantly obvious. These people aren't stupid. They know, and you can't debate that silver doesn't make the most sense. So why are they lying? And that's why that word lying is so important. Why are they lying? Something along the lines of their own agenda, maybe a little bit of emotional attachment. People have ego. They don't want their investment to seem like the second option. They want to be right. All stems from ego. You see a lot of that with crypto. When Bitcoin first came out, a lot of people were saying Bitcoin was a scam, it was a bad investment. And then, what do you know? Bitcoin shot up thousands of dollars. Those people now are still hanging on to their onto their high horse, saying that it's going to crash. It's still a mistake, even though they lost out on hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? But that's the ego. They won't accept that maybe they were mistaken in the beginning, hop on board and take the investment. Same with GSX. It's a gold secured currency. It's what it stands for. Crypto backed by physical gold. I invested before the coin even hit the market. When it was still in the pre-sale, I was investing and I mentioned it. People said, "Oh, it's never going to hit the exchange." Uh, Now it's been on the exchange for 4 or 5 months now, getting traded on Bitmart. Coinbase talks about it, listed on Forbes, Yahoo Finance, you name it. It's everywhere. It's on the exchange. They're doing these things. They started Stratus, all these, and the people that were skeptical in the beginning, right? They're going to hold on to that because they don't want to admit that they were wrong. They don't want to admit that it actually is a real coin, even though it literally is, right? And by the way, the links in the description for GSX. But the whole point is that we're in new times. You need to learn how to adjust and adapt, right? Especially in this new digital era. A lot of things are digital. And that's why, me personally, I invest into GSX because it's backed by physical gold. But at the end of the day, if you can't hold it, you don't own it. So safe haven metals, you cannot try to debate the I guess the longevity or the legitimacy compared to something that's digital. And people with ETFs or investing or even pushing the narrative of stocks are always going to try to play or downplay precious metals and use I guess scenarios where silver did bad, how it was $11 March 2020, and they won't talk about the physical benefits, or if they do, they'll mention it in a bad way, saying precious metals are risky because you can get them stolen from you because you have to. I remember specifically covering an article like that. The guy said that precious metals, one of the reasons it's a bad investment is because you have to hold on to it, and if someone steals it from you, it's gone. And if it's digital, at least you have that company or whatever where they could help you out. Where I mean, you can definitely put an insurance policy on your house, but regardless, I would rather me be in control of if my quote unquote money or investment or asset gets stolen compared to online where it's a lot more susceptible. I mean, you can make some arguments because storage and security is important. A lot of people don't know how to take care of their silver, maybe not using the right coin capsules or not wearing gloves, not using tarnish strips, not using silica gel packs or dehumidifiers. But that's why I make my educational videos teaching you how to, right? So I know that the dollar is collapsing. That's nothing new. You can believe it if you want or not. I mean, the evidence is more than obvious. Go to usdebtclock.org, look at any chart. As soon as we got rid of the gold and silver standard in 1971, everything went downhill. Look at a chart, 1971 to current. Look at the dollar, the dollar's purchasing power. Everything hit the fan as soon as we got rid of the gold and silver standard. And that's because silver isn't backed by the dollar anymore. But that doesn't mean it still isn't worth money. There's a reason why gold and silver has been valuable for the last 5,000 years because it has value. No matter who says that 1 ounce coin is worth what, that's irrelevant because the coin's value is the 1 ounce inside of it. The 1 ounce inside of the coin, not the price tag. You can't say that about anything else. It has intrinsical value within itself. So even if the dollar is worthless, Gold and silver is still valuable because it's still used to build things, right? Do you see the point I'm getting to? Is that money is just the exchange for precious metals, but money isn't the precious metal. That's what people have a hard time wrapping their brain around. You can use dollars to buy or sell silver, but the dollar isn't this silver, and people can't understand that, right? Trading and bartering, looking at supply and demand. Low supply, high demand shoots the price up. Very low supply of silver, very high demand for silver. Stocks, what can you go off of? A company, especially even a fiat-based system, only lasts around 100 years because it's designed to fail, literally. Gold and silver, even in 1,000 years from now, will still be valuable because there's no other metal that we've found in the universe or the galaxy so far that can replace silver because it's the most highly conductive metal for thermal conductivity and electricity. And that's what you'll see on some of these articles that try to downplay silver is they'll talk about silver becoming irrelevant soon. And if it hasn't become irrelevant yet, I don't see that happening anytime soon, especially since the second place piece or asset would be copper, which the quality is extremely poor for or compared to silver, which is still extremely cheap compared to gold, right? We're talking about 1 ounce of gold being used for basically jewelry and necklaces. Yes, there's some gold in electronics, but nowhere near to the extent silver is, and silver's 75 times cheaper. So how in the world is anyone going to even want to replace silver? But they need more silver. So it's literally the perfect asset. I don't see anything replacing silver, and I don't see how this lie can keep up much longer. They're pushing money into stocks. This is going to be a situation where one day people will realize the truth of the dollar and they have no choice but to go towards the direction of silver. Or, I mean, I guess they do have a choice, but that's going to bite them in the butt. Right now, $24 for an ounce of silver is a steal. That's also the point of this video. If you don't understand that, then try holding a $20 bill in your left hand, holding a 1 ounce silver coin in your right hand, and tell me which one seems more valuable. Look what $20 can get you, and then hold on to that 1 ounce and look what a 1 ounce silver coin in the world can do for you. And it's only getting started. I mean, scientists just last year found a way to make silver 40% stronger without losing any electrical conductivity. Silver is just the start. Scientists are going to be messing around with it, especially as people realize how critical it is to literally make the world go round. And I don't see how anything can live up to that, could match up to that. Not even gold. What else can? Right? If someone watched this video and they have, let's say, another stock that they're investing into, or even a crypto, how could they make a video like this to try to make points to this narrative and outshine silver? They can't. Nothing else makes as much sense as silver does. And that's the point of this video, especially comparing it to the dollar or the dollar's demise. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. If you thought this video was 1, educational, 2, informational, 3, at least entertaining, make sure to hit the like button. I post daily videos. Also, go check out the Silver Stacking podcast. New podcast aired. The first episode is live. Don't want to miss it. Trust me. Thanks for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.